Good morning. All right, our last day of the week, day 3. We have a couple fun things planned for you. Love you guys and miss you. Still practicing the number 6. Try to come up with kind of a fun way to do it today. Maybe make it with the Play-Doh that you have. Stick 6 things into the Play-Doh. Get out those cookie sheet trays with the salt or the flour or the sugar on top. Whatever you can think of, just to kind of practice that letter 6 again. Do the letter G for the older kids. Maybe get out a piece of paper, see if they can write those CVC words, those 3-letter sounds that have the letter G in them. Things like gag, bag, rag, things like that they can just practice doing that G sound and writing it. Some other things I stuck in the older kid classes baggies. The little kid seedlings, you don't have these in there. Is one of them is the seeing spots. So all they're gonna do is trace the number to figure out what the number is, and then they need to write or color, draw or paint or marker or whatever they want to do that many spots. So like this number, they would trace it and figure out, oh, it's the number 4. So then they would put 1, 2, 3, 4 spots on the pig, and they would do that for each of the pigs. Then the other thing I put in there is a sight word page. Now this is definitely a kindergarten activity. So if this at all stresses them out or makes them worried, or you see them getting anxious, throw it in the garbage. I just thought that some of my kiddos might be ready for this more challenging work. So this is one of the sight words. Starting next week for your big monthly packet of April, the Sprouts kiddos are going to have sight word cards in there for them to kind of start practicing, just so it's there for kindergarten. It is not a developmental thing for their age. This is something for 6-year-olds. This is not for 4 and 5-year-olds. So please, if this is something they're struggling with, do not force it. It is okay. They will get it in kindergarten and 1st grade and 2nd grade and all the way up. So please don't stress about it. It's just if it's something that they're ready for, then I wanted to introduce it. So this is the word here. So we always color it. We call it Rainbow Ride. You can do each letter a different color just to say it, because sight words are words that you just have to know by sight. You cannot sound this out. And I always tell them that. I say, if we tried to sound this out, we would say, eh. So it'd be hera. And that's not the word. It's here. So we sound it out. We say here, H-E-R-E, here. Okay? And then we can also talk about that there's different kinds of hear. There's the hear that we listen with, we hear things, and this is the word here, like I am sitting right here, the candy is right here, my coffee is right here, this is that here. And then they're going to write it after they color it, so they'll write it H-E-R-E here, H-E-R-E here, have them say it over and over. We want them to hear it, we want them to see it, they're gonna make it, we're gonna try to use all those senses to help them remember these crazy words, okay? Then they're gonna rainbow write it by themselves. Now it's a little bit there, very hintly, but they're gonna write it, and they just like they did similar up there, but rather than coloring it, they're gonna write it themselves. Then they're gonna paste it, cut out each letter, and glue it. Can they do it on their own? Can they look at this here and figure out the H-E-R-E? See if they can match it, make sure the letters aren't upside down, things like that. Would be a really good visual for them. And then next is, can they find the words here? So there's a whole bunch of sight words mixed up in there, just to see if they can figure out which one's different. So that's their sight word paper. And also, I'm sure you've seen that I've been adding these Scholastic magazines in for the kids. These are yours. Read over it with them. There's usually a fun little activity on the back, but just kind of a bonus little activity and fun thing. The kids usually really love these, and then they're theirs to keep, to do with whatever they want after that. One more fun activity, and I'm going to send home these for the kiddos in the April packet, but I thought it would be great for some of the kiddos to even do now if you have the supplies. So one of the things is you need watercolors, white paper, and a white crayon, and then you as the teacher are going to write. For the big kids, it can be letter sounds or sight words or CVC words to see if they can sound it out and read the words. So you can either do reading or words or numbers, or can they tell the letter sound, the letter name, whatever you want to do. And then after you write it on, like I wrote a bunch of stuff on here and they can't see, so then it's magic. And they're gonna take their watercolor. Let's see if I can do this and show you guys. And then when they paint over their letters, it's magic. And then you're gonna want them to read you, like that's the sight word the. Or if it's the littles, I would say, like they could hunt for letters. And then once they found it, they'd have to tell me A, or A says ah, whatever it would be. There's also even, like I hit on this one just to kind of show you, if they're struggling with their numbers, like you could even write numbers on there and see if they could read it, like, oh, it said I found the number 6. So that's just kind of a fun, like search and find for maybe some of those skills that they just need a little extra practice on, but it makes it a lot more fun to do it rather than doing flashcards, or like teachers will call it drill and kill, like when you just want them to, what's the number, or what's the name, what's the word, over and over and over again. You could also write their name and have them practice finding the letter, the letters of their name. But yeah, so a lot of different fun things you can do with this. And like I said, if you don't have watercolors at home right now, I am going to add it to the April packet. I'll make sure everybody has watercolors. So that will be there. If I just thought maybe I'd let you guys know about it so you could get a head start if you wanted something fun to do. So anyways, love you guys. Have a great week and I'll see you soon. Bye.